Hi, everyone. Welcome to a new episode of 10K Dollar Day. And today we're talking about poop, fragrance, and yoga mats.
Whew, that is a downwind dog.
Here we go. Hi, everyone. Welcome to episode 241 of 10K Dollar Day, the comedy podcast about imaginary luxury travel. I'm Allison Burns.
I'm Lulu Picard.
And we are so excited that you're here with us today because it is our changeover, our switch up, our new format of 10K Dollar Day. That's right. After 4 years, we're switching it up. And what better way to do that than with episode 2 for 1?
Okay, but before we get started on this new format, we have to tell everyone where we're going to be for the next couple of weeks because we have a lot of stuff happening over here on the 10K side. So first of all, if you're in Tampa Bay and you want to see nonsense, you've got to see some men in habits getting in the habit, then you get in the habit of going over to the Straz because the Allison Burns directed production of Nonsense closes like in 4 days. That's how long
right.
you have to get there. Okay. However, if you're in Orlando and you want to come see Lulu sing with a giant orchestra and some of the best singers on Disney property, then come over to see the Encore 20th anniversary concert from the 19th to 21st at the Dr. Phillips Center.
Nice.
And if you're in Dallas, y'all, this doesn't get any better. Like we are moving. Okay. If you're in Dallas from the 22nd to the 27th, and especially if you're attending Podcast Movement, we want to know. We love those conferences. We are speaking for the first time ever at Podcast Movement, which is the biggest podcast conference in the country. Dare I say the world?
I think you could say that.
I think it is, right? Probably is. Yeah. So we're going to be speaking there. We're super excited. Guess what, listeners? We're talking about you.
Yeah.
And finally, some people reached out to me this week and said, "You're home in Orlando, Lulu. You were supposed to be on Broadway. What happened? Give me the skinny." So let me tell you, everyone, yes, the show I'm in, 1776, is still going to Broadway. I'm still in the show. We just had a month off in between Boston and New York. But gosh, thank you for everybody who reached out and said, "You haven't said anything on social media, but are you okay?"
Aww.
Yes, we're just on hiatus. Nothing. This is a planned break. So that's what's happening. And if you want to see 1776 on Broadway, buy your tickets now because it's a limited run. So there's no like, oh, I'll see it when I see it. It's not Wicked, right? It's just like 4 months. That's it. And then we're out. So
yeah,
those are all of our. We had a lot of announcements, but
we did have a lot of announcements, all the housekeeping. Oh, but now let's get into some fun stuff. So those of you who are here who are like, what's this new format? Don't worry. It's going to come. Right now, we're going to stick to the old. We're going to go back into our obsessions and our wish list. So let's get started with that. So Lulu, what's your obsession this week?
My obsession is Team 10K.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I love it.
Are you surprised?
I am surprised.
You know why she surprised everyone? Because we're so good at podcasting. We started in January 2018.
Uh-huh.
We completely lost the audio. We recorded half of this episode last night.
Uh-huh.
And my computer is still not happy with being a computer. I think it's going through an existential thing.
Yeah.
And I think what it wants to be is a doorstop. So, so halfway through, it just decided it didn't want to play nice anymore. And we lost my whole file. Yeah. Now, that means that Allison has heard part of this before, but what she was expecting to hear in my obsession, I changed up.
I know, but then I also panicked. I was like, did we say we would change it all? Because I didn't.
Oh, no. I just wanted to take you by
surprise me.
And,
you did.
And stuff. Okay. My obsession is Team 10K because we are going through this change thing and we had to come together and do new episode artwork and talk about the news. Oh, we'll talk about that later. The newsletter that's launching literally today
Yeah.
for the first time. And I just love it when we make things happen. It's one of my favorite
Yeah.
things. And you've been on a cruise, so you don't count in this, but Andrea and I have been like brainstorming a lot this last
Yeah.
week. And it just made everything feel like we were moving. And I like 10K the most when it feels like we're moving forward and
Well,
not when
sure.
we're like maintaining something we do.
Right.
So like the fact that we're in moving forward right now and we have the conference, that makes me really happy.
That's awesome. Oh,
Yeah.
I love that.
What about you?
Well, my obsession is wait for it. Luigi's real
These
Italian,
Italian
ice. The lemon kind.
kind.
Yes. That's what it is. You guys, it's so good because it's so hot in Florida. And like, I love it so much. In fact, I still have the empty containers laying all around my house. There's actually one at my podcast station. There's one by my bed. It's proof of how much I love them.
And this is like granita style, like not shaved ice style, but like you have to scrape it up with a spoon.
Oh, yeah. And that's the best part because when you first buy them from the grocery store, they're still a little soft because, you've taken them out. You've got them in your cart. You had to get them home. They've softened up a bit. So the first one, if you eat it right away, isn't as satisfying as the ones later when you wake up the next day and they're hard as a rock and it takes you a bit of time. I love food that you have to work on.
That's weird because you don't eat chicken on the bone.
No. I don't like gross food like that has ligaments. I like food like pistachios that you have to open or edamame. You got to get it out of the pod.
So interesting. So you like to do just a little bit of action.
A little bit of action makes it feel a little more worthwhile.
Meanwhile, I'm like, give me the no shells. Pour it in my mouth.
Yeah. Even the seeds. What are they? The sunflower seeds. Those are great too.
Oh, yeah. That's not my thing.
Yeah. It's lots of work.
No. Okay.
What's your wish list?
Well, it's funny that you said you had that Luigi's by your bed because my wish list is for a dispenser near my bed with really cold water.
Oh.
But I want to like not get out of bed to get my cold water. And I understand I can put water by my bed. That's what I normally do. I just bring a glass of water to bed. But then it's room temperature water.
Mm.
And I want to like wake up in the middle of the night and then have like ice cold water and then go back to sleep.
Do you prefer ice cold over room temp?
Absolutely.
Interesting.
Even in a show, which
see, that's what I was going to say, because I do prefer really cold water if I'm super thirsty at the end of a long, hot day or if I'm working out. But if I'm in a show performing or it's cold outside, I want room temperature water.
Yeah, no, I almost always want it cold with a straw.
Okay.
Yeah. And a lot of singers don't like to do that. They like their room temperature because they say that it makes them feel like their muscles, they don't like it. They don't like the coldness going down their throat muscles, right?
Gotcha.
I don't know. Maybe I do have that and I just don't know. And I've sacrificed my voice all these years, but I want my water cold. And sometimes, I don't know if you ever experienced this when you were on tour with Rent.
Okay.
But when I was on tour with Cinderella, there were a few dressers. So when we say dressers, if you're not like familiar with this like touring actor life, and really who is, when you go from city to city, you will have people locally that they hire to do something. So the whole company doesn't travel, right?
Yeah, right.
And I had a few of them that literally were like, would spoil you because they would go, okay, well, what kind of water do you want? Do you want it room temperature? Do you want it cold? Do you want it warm? And they would make sure you would have it at the exact temperature you wanted when you came off stage.
Yeah.
I mean, I got spoiled.
I bet.
It's like the best because if you can have the liquid that you want at the temperature that you want.
Yeah.
When you are like jumping off stage and doing a costume change, it like changed my day.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of
And
the actors only drank Sprite at room temperature during shows.
that's correct. I knew an actor too who would do Sprite with potato chips, like the
Oh,
oily potato chips, because they
I
thought that it coated their throat.
oh no. I swear by salt and vinegar chips if you are phlegmy.
Oh,
Because if you're phlegmy, the salt and the vinegar kind of like help with that as well. And then the kettle cut chips, they scrape it all down.
yeah.
Nothing like it if you're phlegmy. That's my vocal coach tip for the day, everyone.
I love that. And again, I was surprised by your new wish list.
That's
that
right. What's your wish?
You're changing it up. Well, I'm trying to now think off the cuff, but you know what? This one's just so darn good.
Yeah.
So my wish list is that I wish you could take apart your body so you could just massage the parts you want yourself.
Like a Barbie doll.
Yes.
That doesn't gross you out.
No.
It grosses me out.
Really?
Well, yeah, because you literally just said it like to take apart my body. I think that if I even thought, like even the thought of seeing, much less touching, an arm that's disconnected from a body, like I can't get past that. I can't get past that concept.
Yeah. I don't know. I just know where things hurt. So I feel like I'm the best person to do that with for sure.
Well, because this is the huge difference in our personalities, right? Like
Sure.
you just want to do it all yourself. And I'm like, somebody should just do it for me and like make it happen.
Yeah.
Give me my water at the right temperature.
This is never a real wish list. We are never going to be able to take our bodies apart. So,
well, there's that.
Okay. All right. Well, that's that. Let's go on now. Here we go, you guys. It is time for Lulu's 10K day.
It's a 10K dollar day.
Imaginary travel and a laugh or two.
As we tell you all the crazy things we wanna do.
We buy top drawer,
but we don't really pay.
So say what's your happy and you'll be our bae.
Okay, Allison, before we hear this word, tell them why you said it was my day.
Well, that's because new format, you guys. Now going forward, every single week, Lulu and I are going to switch off. You're going to hear one 10K day from either one of us based off of a magic word that we're about to reveal. The only thing that the other person has to include now is you have to bring the other co-host along. So that means Lulu must bring me on her 10K day today. And she has built that day off of this magic word.
Hello, 10K dollar day. This is Daniel Cilli coming at you from Ashland, Oregon. I am sitting inside in the air conditioning next to a piano, and it is very hot outside here. So I am not experiencing discomfort. And last night I ordered a pie. I was looking forward to a piece of pie, and what came out was ice cream. I still had ice cream, so I was not distraught. And this morning I had to say goodbye to a bunch of friends. And it was tough. I was a little bit dismayed, but somebody gave me cookies. So I realized, let's forget about all these dis words. And I'm going to give you a non-dis word today. The word is gruntled. That's right. Gruntled. Gruntled. It is really a word.
Gruntled. Did you know that gruntled was a word and except not part of disgruntled?
No, I did not. In fact, I had to Google it. And I immediately, when I heard the word, thought it was the past tense sound that a pig made.
Oh, like a gruntled.
Like the pig gruntled until he got his way. That sort of thing.
That totally makes sense. Like,
yeah.
Oh, I fed the pig and then he happily gruntled in his sty.
Yeah, exactly.
That totally makes sense context wise. If you are not a native English speaker, that's not what it means. So erase that from your head. And if you love the dulcet tones of his voice, you should listen to his 10K Saturday, because we talk about really cool things like mushrooms and just life, opera life, being friends. But his 10K Saturday, where he answers the 10K 5, is in our archives if you want that interview.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. So Gruntled.
I'm ready for it.
I also had to look it up because I also thought it was just like the opposite of disgruntled. And it kind of is. It's pleased, satisfied, and contented.
Oh, very good.
Well, that makes me crave somewhere that I am pleased, satisfied, and contented.
Of course it does.
Of course, somewhere peaceful. So I
Yes.
Googled the most peaceful place in the US.
Okay.
And I got to Savannah, Georgia.
Oh, I love Savannah, Georgia.
I know it's beautiful.
And it
right?
just makes me
Absolutely
feel like I'm
beautiful.
watching an old movie where the ladies are on the porch and they're wearing their big hats and drinking iced tea.
That's it. That's Savannah for most of the population that lived there at that time. So most peaceful place in the US, Savannah, Georgia. Beautiful. And of course, Allison is coming with me because that's what we're doing now in our 10
That's right.
Attached at the hip, we are.
Yeah.
So we're going to stay at the Bellwether, which calls itself an experiential.
That sounds right.
.com bed and breakfast.
Love it.
Now, this is a fancy, lovely hotel, and we would have a hard time even leaving it to go into Savannah because they have breakfast, afternoon high tea, evening champagne toasts. They have unlimited valet. They have like a 24/7 high-tech gym, weekly yoga sessions. I mean,
that's a lot for a bed and breakfast, because I feel like normally they're very, small, and they just have the breakfast with the muffins in the morning, and it's like a quaint little house.
Yeah, they just have the bed and the breakfast.
Yeah, so there you go.
But this is like bed and breakfast and tea and champagne and da-da-da.
That's awesome.
It's beautiful. And not only that, but they put this on their website and I love it. We believe the people who create your experience matter too. So we pay every member of our staff living wages and offer comprehensive benefits. We ensure that every stick of furniture, thread of linen, and bath product is made using fair wage labor and without the use of harmful chemicals or destructive processes to our planet. We work with local farmers and purveyors to bring clean and sustainable food to the table. And then they also volunteer throughout the community.
I love that. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's really beautiful.
Yeah.
Like
it makes you want to support that business even more when you hear things like that.
Well, and also it makes you realize like where your luxury money's going.
Exactly. Yeah.
So if you're staying at the Ritz, which is like $500 to $700 a night, and you still have to tip your housekeeping staff because they're making minimum wage,
right?
Where is your money going?
Exactly. To the man.
To the man. All right. So we are going to pretend that we're there on a Thursday or a Saturday because on those days they have yoga and meditation at 9:15.
Okay. So
we're going to start our day there.
Amazing.
I got us both Lifeform mats, custom Lifeform mats. Those are my favorite yoga mats. We are not sponsored by them, but I'm very picky about my yoga mats. And that yoga mat is the stickiest. Like you just don't move. And it has alignment lines, which is great for me because I am terrible at keeping myself aligned while I do yoga. So I can always like make sure that I'm doing everything the way it should be. So those custom mats, now these are the highest priced ones on there. So now that you know that I have 2 Lifeform mats, everyone, don't get all scared-o, okay? So the custom Lifeform mats are $220 each.
I mean, that's a hefty price tag for a yoga mat. However, I do know, if you use it every single day, like if you were to use yoga mats every single day, really it's even you're paying for it over a year. It's like $1 a day,
Right. And they're also made more responsibly than other mats. Like if you get, here we go, everyone. Here's the tangent. But if you get one of the super cheap yoga mats, like the ones that kind of look like drawer liners.
Oh,
You know
yeah.
what I'm
They're like
talking
super
about?
thin. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, they're thick. It's not about the thickness. It's about the material. They give off toxic fumes. So when you're doing your yoga
It's
and you've
not
got your
good.
face down to the thing, it's not good for you. It's
Oh my
not at all.
gosh.
You really, if you're serious about yoga and you do it a lot, or even if you just don't want to be breathing toxic fumes, you should look at what you probably can't go to Target and get your yoga mat. That's all I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's a cheap thing, but the materials that don't give off those fumes are more expensive.
Well, and it's true too, because I even remember sometimes you'll smell them when you take them out of like the package.
Yeah, you always have to air them out first, right? So you're supposed to air them out for like a day after you buy
Yeah.
a thing. But yeah, I would say if you're serious about it, look at the materials that you're putting your face on,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now that we've freaked everybody out
I
about
know.
their
Now I'm
yoga
like thinking
mats.
about all of my yoga mats. I have two, but I'm like, oh, are they worthy?
Well, we're going to do yoga and meditate at 9:15. We're definitely going to feel worthy after that.
Perfect.
And then we're going to go have breakfast at the Bellwether. That's where we're
Okay.
staying again. They do a full menu every day because, bed and breakfast. Hello.
Duh.
And they have a crafted menu of Indian inspired dishes steeped in Southern cooking traditions.
That's cool.
But then they say if you want something off the menu, as long as we have the ingredients, we'll make it.
That's really cool.
That's your dream, Allison. That's having a private
1000%.
chef.
Yep.
But they already have some stuff planned. But if you really want waffles,
That's amazing. Yeah, that is like luxury.
so that breakfast is included because it's bed and breakfast. So we're just gonna tip $40.
Love it.
Oh, I didn't tell you. Our hotel is $320 a night. So for two rooms, 2 nights, that's $2,560.
Okay.
Just to let you know. Okay.
Got it.
So we've now had breakfast and it is time to go to Forsyth Park, which is a
Okay.
beautiful park in Savannah. It has those like the Spanish mossy trees
Oh,
that
yes.
make
I
arches.
love those. And you can drive or walk under them.
Yeah, and you just kind of feel
Yes.
like super romantic the whole time,
Yep. Fantastic.
But not only that, if you're like, wow, that's a beautiful sight, they also have a fragrant garden for the visually impaired.
Oh, that's amazing. The
Yeah.
smells.
It's not just smells though. It's plants with scented leaves or flowers and plants with unusual or pleasing textures.
Ooh. Okay. So no cacti.
No, that would be a very mean trick.
That would be
No.
a very mean trick.
Yeah, so these kind of came around in the 50s and 60s, and this one has been there since then.
I've never heard of that.
I know, I hadn't either, and I think it's so cool.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So it's literally made with heightened sense and touch flowers.
That's cool.
That's not a phrase, but y'all know what I mean. So that people who are visually impaired can have a sensory overload experience, just like I would going in and seeing all the flowers.
That's amazing. And I feel like their imagination is so much more, jump started when you can smell and touch as well.
Oh, yeah. So the plants in the Garden of Fragrance include Meyer lemon trees, winter daphne, mountain witch alder,
Okay.
pink jasmine.
Oh,
I love the smell of jasmine. Ginger lily,
Okay.
Florida anise, which is also called stink bush.
Oh,
Okay.
well,
And
know if I wanna
varieties
smell
of-
that.
I know exactly. And varieties of roses, lilies, irises, violets, and rhododendrons. The
That's
names are
awesome.
supplied in English, Latin, and Braille.
Oh, I love that.
I do too.
That's
I really
amazing.
think it's so beautiful. So the only people, that's not how I would say that. Okay. So obviously the visually impaired and people with normal sight
Mhm.
will love this garden. But do you know who else would love a fragrant garden?
The bees.
What if you had a honey business? Oh, you know what? There is, the Savannah Bee Company's there.
Oh, that's
that
cool.
honey business. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That would have worked, bees. Yes. But also dogs.
Oh, of course. sensory overload.
Sensory overload. So you and I are going to go to the Coastal Pet Rescue right there in Savannah. We're going
Okay.
to give them $1,000 and they're going to let us bring the dogs to the fragrance garden.
Oh, that's amazing.
Now I know the garden people are going to be like, no dogs. And I'll say, don't worry. We figured it out. First of all, these are orphan dogs. And so you just have to let them come. And
Yeah,
then
of course.
secondly, we got a rake and spade at chewy.com so we can like pick up all the stuff.
Okay.
And then I found this cool company called Hold On Bags, and they
Okay.
make completely compostable and biodegradable trash bags for your house,
Oh, that's amazing.
like for your kitchen and things.
Yeah.
And they are a little more expensive than going to get the Glad or the Hefty bags,
Sure.
but they break down in weeks
That's amazing. And
as opposed to hundreds of years.
I don't know about you guys. We go through so many garbage bags. I didn't even know that was an option.
For 50 of them, they're $13.
That's awesome.
And those links, by the way, everyone, is going to be in our what? Newsletter.
That's right.
And in just a second, I'm going to pause this day. I'm going to ask Allie to talk about it because we should talk about it right now. But anyway, we're going to put the poop in there so that it is like completely as bio whatever as we can. Right.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And at this point, let's talk about the poop. Let's talk about that newsletter.
Well, I was like, okay. Yeah. So you guys, we have a new newsletter. It's our 10K Hey newsletter. And we're so excited about. So basically, when you hear this episode, if you are interested in finding out more, you can sign up for that newsletter and it's going to be sent directly to you. So you can click on links, you can see fun stories. Our producer's going to have some say in things. We're going to have some pictures. It's going to be a fun little wrap up of the week. It's going to include some other things as well. So we can't wait for you to sign up for that. You can do that by clicking on the link in the show notes here on your podcast player, or by going to our website, 10kdollarday.com, and clicking there. We cannot wait to be not only in your ears, but in your eyes, in your email boxes. It's going to be great.
Sensory overload. We're sending you a little gift box with perfume,
Scratch
the
and
perfume we
sniff.
wear. Yeah, please do opt in. Listen, even if you're like, they know me, I've been a guest before. We literally legally cannot send you our newsletter unless you go to the website and sign up for it. That's just
Correct.
the way it is. And I'll tell you this, if you're like, I think I did that once, just do it again.
Do it
because
again.
we're
Yeah,
not-
just try.
We're
Just see
we're
what's
just
happening.
refreshing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we can't wait for you to see it because Andrea, our producer, has been working real hard on it. And we're excited about all the new content that's going
Yeah.
to be there.
Super
Yeah.
excited.
All right, let's get back to this 10K day.
Let's do it.
So my rake and spade was $29.81 from chewy.com.
Okay.
Those trash bags I told you were 13. And now we're going to
Yes.
have lunch at Moon River Brewing Company,
Okay.
which is haunted.
Of course it is.
There's a lot of haunted things in Savannah. I think it might be like the Spanish moss. It's just like drippy, droopy, creepy.
Well, and you did say it was a peaceful place. So what better place to rest for the rest of your non-life than a peaceful place? You don't want to be in a non-peaceful atmosphere. Like ghosts don't want to hang out in like downtown Chicago.
You know what's funny? For 1776, we're in the American Airlines Theater, which is on 42nd. And you know, all those theaters are so old, right?
Yeah.
Like they've been there forever. So I am not special enough to be able to negotiate a lot of stuff in my contract,
Right.
but I did ask for a non-ghost dressing room. And the stage managers were
That's
like,
a
what?
thing?
I was like, listen, I'm just saying, if you hear, oh, and that one's haunted, that's not the one I want. I want the other one.
Like how I wouldn't have even thought of that.
I don't know why I thought of it, but I was like in the green room in Boston and it popped in my head. And I was like, I can't have ghosts in my dressing room. And they were like, okay, because New York is weird, right? Like all those old cities, there are city ghosts.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks I'm insane now, but that's fine.
Not everyone.
Thank you. Not Casper.
And he's
So-
friendly.
He's friendly. So lunch at Moon River, we're just going to get nachos and burgers and beers. That's like $80. And I've actually taken a ghost tour of Savannah in real life.
Okay.
And we went to this place. And we went into the basement where it's supposed to be the most haunted. And then they told everyone to take out their phones and start videotaping. And then they turned off the lights for like 30 seconds, maybe.
Yeah.
Like not a hugely long time. And then at the end, everyone was supposed to look at their phones and see if they saw orbs.
Did anyone see orbs?
I don't remember. So either
See, I feel like
no-
if someone did, you would have remembered. That's like a poor memory.
No, but here's the thing. I can't remember if no one had an orb or if someone did have an orb, but I was skeptical the whole time. Because in my heart, I feel like I didn't have a scary experience, but I also just might not have not believed it.
Did you
But
feel anything weird?
I always feel things weird.
Okay.
Yeah, I did feel like it was creepy, but you're also in a room of like 15 people on a tour group all hoping to see something creepy, which
Yeah.
can also affect the energy in the room.
Oh, absolutely.
So who knows? Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. So anyhow, lunch and hauntings at the Moon
Lunch
River
and
Brewing
hauntings.
Company.
That's a great name for a place, actually.
Lunch and hauntings.
And you have
And
ghosts of the
then-
food.
We are going to, we have the option, Allie, at this point.
Okay.
We could go back to the Bellwether, our hotel, because they're having afternoon tea from 3 to 5. And of course,
Yes.
it's free. Okay, great. So we're going to go there. I'm just letting you know we're eating a lot on this day.
Well,
so
what
this is
was
just
the other option?
to not go to it? There
Oh,
was
no. The
other-
option is always tea. Always.
Okay. So we love an afternoon tea. So we're going to go have tea. They've got the full spread of pastries and cakes and a full tower of savory bites and petit fours and endless servings of their sustainably sourced tea and coffee.
Oh, yum.
Can you imagine?
Yes, I can. I'm imagining it now.
I know. I love tea. Okay. So we're going to have our fancy tea. Then we're going to go to Savannah's Candy Kitchen.
Oh, yeah. Sign me up.
Yeah, it's a famous candy store there. And they do, like truffles. They do pralines. They do milk chocolate covered peanuts, milk chocolate fudge, all the kind of things. And gophers.
Yeah.
Do you know what that is?
I do. It's like a mix between a squirrel and a squirrel and a rat.
A squirrel and a rat. Yeah. Okay. But do you know what it would be in the chocolate world?
Oh, it's like a chocolate covered gopher. It's the
What?
molding. It's the shape of the gopher.
When you said
That's
chocolate covered gopher, I
chocolate.
think we all grossed out.
That's what it is. In the shape of the gopher.
Okay, sure. It's not, but you've never heard of a candy called a gopher, right?
Correct.
Okay, I have also never heard of a chocolate gopher.
Mm-hmm.
I would call it a turtle.
Oh, yes.
So turtle, right? The nuts, the caramel.
Yes. They're
chocolate.
chewy, a little bit hard. Yeah.
Oh, they're like my favorite. I
They're
love them
very
so
good.
much.
I don't remember the last turtle I ate.
Well, the problem is they're always so expensive because they're heavier than anything else. And they usually do it by weight at
Yeah.
those stores.
Yeah.
And then I always want a turtle. And my parents would always be like, no, like we said, you could have one piece.
I know.
Like the turtle. Okay. So I'm getting the 10-story gift tower from Savannah's
What?
Candy Kitchen. Well, it's both of us.
That sounds so good.
right?
Yeah.
They're having a Christmas in July sale right now. So we were able to get 10 decorative gift boxes with, all the things.
That's amazing.
And there's only one place in Savannah to eat a box of chocolates.
Where? Oh, yes.
Where?
Well, you said a box of chocolates.
Yes.
So it has to do with Forrest Gump,
Yes.
but I don't know where that would be. I guess on a bench. Did he film it there?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. So there have been a few movies filmed in Savannah, probably because it's so pretty. And so you can take a movie location Segway tour, and we're going to do that. You can do it right through Viator. And one of the locations is Forrest Gump's Bench.
That's amazing. I had no idea.
Yeah, so we're going to eat our chocolates on Forrest Gump's Bench. But first, we're going to get on this Segway. Have you ever been on a Segway?
I have not. It is in my bucket list.
I think I'd be pretty good at it.
I think you would be too. I'm not great at the hoverboard, so I'm hoping that it's a little easier than that.
I've never been on a hoverboard.
Yeah, Hannah got one. She's great at it, but I don't know. I get nervous, and then if you move too quickly to try to like catch yourself, because I have really good reflexes, but on those you can't, because if you go to catch yourself, the thing thinks that you're moving fast and then it flies out and it's like a whole mess.
Oh, well, I like the Segway because you're just standing and you're holding on to something.
Oh, yeah. See, I think that's why it would be easier.
Yeah, for sure. So that tour is $75 each. So with the tip for both of us, it's $180. They provide a helmet, but that kind of grosses me out. So since I'm rich on this 10K day, we're buying our own helmets that we will then donate to the Segway people.
Nice.
And those are $60 each from the Segway store. Like I got the actual Segway helmets.
Oh, cool.
Easy. And now that we've worked up an appetite kind of by standing on a Segway, we are going to our first dinner.
Okay.
Because I told you we're eating a lot.
Let's do it.
Trip. Okay. So we are going to first dinner at Mrs. Wilkes' dining room. I have been here in real life.
Oh, and it sounds really cute.
It's really cute, but it's this. So you would like it because you don't order anything. They just serve you food.
True.
And it's always the same food. It's like Southern food. There's fried chicken, there's greens, there's succotash, there's like all these beautiful things.
Love
ham, all the stuff. You sit at communal tables, which normally I hate, but I will give it up for Mrs. Wilkes. And you stand in line for a really long time.
Oh.
And it's worth it. I'm just telling you now, everyone, it's worth it. It's $30 a person. So we are going there. It's going to be $80 with tip.
Okay.
And I'm bringing a parasol for the sun because we're standing outside, you know, like we don't want that on our face.
Yeah.
And on Etsy, I found a wholesale lot of 100 Indian handmade parasols.
Oh, those sound gorgeous.
They are beautiful. They are like patchwork. They're brightly colored. They've got tassels. They say that it's for wedding decor, but I feel it's great for standing in line at Mrs. Wilkes.
Yeah. And I feel like decor is decor. You can use that for anything you want.
That's right. That's right. You can use it to decor anything you want. So, so dumb. So I'm going to hand out those parasols to the whole line.
Oh, fun.
We're going to look very festive.
I'm so excited.
And then since everyone's going to be in a good mood, they've got their bright colored parasols, which are going to make you be in a good mood. Plus they were free. I will actually say to Mrs. Wilkes boarding house, listen, I've got a bunch of this money. I'd like to put this toward the entire bill for everyone in this line.
Oh, how sweet.
And I can donate $1,397.38 to that cause.
So sweet and so specific.
So sweet and so specific. Okay, so now we finished eating this giant Southern meal.
Okay.
And it's time to go back to our hotel.
Yes, for second dinner?
Not yet.
Oh.
It is time for the evening sabering.
Oh, what's that?
Okay, the evening sabering. As the sun moves low in the sky, this is what it says on their website, we saber open our organically grown Prosecco to bring in the celebration of each day and officially open our full service bar for the evening.
What does saber mean?
Oh, I'm so excited that you don't know because you're going to be obsessed.
Okay.
It's when you open the champagne bottle with a sword.
What? Oh, so like a lightsaber.
Well, yes, but the lightsaber was named after the saber. The saber is like a sword, right?
Okay.
Okay. And I knew that you'd want to know how to do this. So I have steps on how to do this in 10 steps. Are you ready?
Okay. Yeah.
You do need an actual champagne saber or a chef's knife with weight.
So there's like a real thing. It's not just like any sword. I can't just go to the thrift store.
I would say you cannot really just go to the thrift store, but
Okay,
this says you
gotcha.
can do it with a chef's knife, but who knows? Okay.
Oh, okay.
But a good chef's knife,
Yeah,
you know? Okay. So first you have to put on protective glasses. That is non-negotiable, Allison Burns.
Okay. No, I got that. Eyes are important.
Okay. Number 2, remove wiring or wrappers from the cork.
Good to know.
3, plunge the neck of the bottle into an ice bucket filled with water until it's very cold.
Oh, okay.
Right. 4, when ready to saber, I love that. Cradle the bottle at waist level with your non-dominant hand.
Okay.
At a 45-degree angle with the top of the bottle tilted upwards.
Okay.
Okay. Are you picturing that?
I'm there. Yeah.
Number 5, take the saber this is very specific. Take the saber or chef's knife, run it along the body of the bottle to get a feel for it. Okay. The sharp edge should be facing your body.
Ooh, okay.
Okay. Number 6, proper champagne bottles have a visible seam along both sides of the bottle. This is what you're looking for, the landing strip for your saber, where the seam of the bottle meets the lip of the bottle.
Okay. Does this come with pictures?
Not what I'm looking at. This is just
Okay.
text.
All right.
No, but you can find a YouTube. Number 7. And also we're on a podcast. So even if I showed you pictures, like let's everyone else only gets the text. Okay.
That's
number
true.
7, point the bottle away from any person or valuable possession. Hold the knife flat. And then slide the backside of the knife. At the back of the knife. I wouldn't have expected that. Slide the back of the knife along the seam toward the cap of the bottle in one fluid motion, following through past the cap. Boom.
Okay.
Now you've cut the top off.
Cut the top off.
Through that motion.
Yes.
Along the seam toward the cap. Once you make a clean break, let the champagne flow out a little to ensure any remaining shards of glass are washed out
That's
of the bottle's
scary.
neck. Grab your glasses and serve. I don't know that we should like try this at home or anything.
No,
right off
I
the
probably
bat.
won't. And if I did, it would be outside. I'd have fully protective gear on, and I'd probably be scared to drink it. But yeah.
But don't you really want to be able to do it?
Oh, absolutely.
I really want to do it.
I mean, in a pinch, who knows if I can't find that bottle opener?
You'll be like, give me that sword.
Yeah.
I found that article, by the way, everyone, on masterclass.com. But again, we will link to it in our show notes, which will be in the newsletter.
Woo-hoo.
Now, I literally wrote down, I bet Allison thinks she could do it. So I'm going to give you a little workshop for it.
Okay.
Okay. So I bought a case of Lexi's Toast Brut Nature, which is
Yeah,
my
that's our
favorite
fave.
American sparkling wine. And you can get that. Well, I'm not even going to tell you where you can get it. You should go to the newsletter. But it's delicious. It's my fave. And then I went to shop for a saber.
Okay.
But when you type in saber, it is now mostly lightsabers because people don't really use sabers anymore. So here's the thing.
Yeah. How do you get that?
We're going to have to borrow the saber they have at the hotel. But just for funsies, I bought us each a lightsaber because I think it would be really funny to go into the sabering night and be like, we brought our sabers, but they're actually just lightsabers.
Oh, I love that.
I thought you'd like that.
Yeah, that's
Do you
good.
know how expensive these lightsabers can be?
Well, I mean, if they're real, then I would guess a few $100s.
What do you mean by real?
Like if they're the real deal, if they like turn on and they make the noises and they can slice through human flesh.
Okay, none of them can slice through humans.
Just
That's
kidding.
like not existing yet. Because if it was, we could just do it with the lightsaber and that would be even cool. In fact, you know what? Forget the lightsaber whoosh, whoosh, whoosh fights. If I had a real lightsaber, I would only use it to open champagne bottles.
I know,
What
right?
a flex. Okay, so I went to ebay.com and I found a lightsaber is $1,500.
Oh my gosh. That's crazy.
And I kept going through it, seeing, well, does it slice through flesh? Like what? I got both of us these fancy sabers.
Oh, I'm excited. We
Which
can even
means-
do like, fake wars. We can be like, all right, swords up. That'd be
No, I
fun.
think we should only use it for non-violent things. I think we should only open champagne. We could use them as like karaoke mics.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah.
just like why not? Because
Yeah.
everyone else is going to do sword fights. We don't need to
That's
do that.
true. That's true. Let's be different.
What if it's like our walking stick? Meanwhile,
Yeah.
all the geeks at this place would be like, "What are you doing to that lightsaber?"
I know.
They'd be so mad. And then it is time for second dinner.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, we are going to Casa Herradura tequila dinner at the Old Pink House.
Nice.
So the Old Pink House is this famous like Southern kind of fine dining Southern food place in Savannah. I've passed it several times, but never been able to afford to eat there. But they have a tequila dinner this month with the global brand ambassador for Casa Herradura, which is one of my favorite tequilas. They have live music, creative cocktails, a guided tasting, and a dinner, all based
Nice.
on tequila.
That's fun. Talk about
100
relaxed.
I know. It's 110 per person, which means for two people with tip, it's going to be about $300.
Nice. Love it.
All right, we're almost done with our day, but first we have to go on a ghost tour.
Well, of course we do.
We do. So we're going on the Dead of Night ghost tour. That's going to be $34.99 each plus $20 tip.
Love it.
And then we go back to the hotel. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to sleep after
Why?
that.
Because of the ghost tour?
Yeah, because the ghost tour.
Okay.
So I got night capsules from Beam.
Oh, yes,
Night
yes.
capsules. I don't know anything about them, but I found them when I Googled celebrity sleep aid.
Okay, nice.
I was like, show me what the Kardashians use.
Yeah, why
And,
not?
I guess celebrities are using these Beam night capsules. They have reishi, magnesium, melatonin, blah, blah, blah. They say that 97% of people fell asleep faster and
Oh, cool.
95% reported better sleep quality. And I am in for that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And that brings me to my total of $10,000. Hey, Bays, we found something that is totally up your alley, especially if you're here for, I don't know, luxury travel and giving stuff away.
That's right. We're talking private pools in Santorini, wildlife safaris in Kenya, spa treatments and scuba lessons in Bora Bora, and so much more.
We're talking about Omaze. Omaze raises money for charity by offering incredible experiences you can win, like cars, cash, or hangs with celebrities. It only starts at $10 for 100 entries. It goes up from there. The money goes to a charity, a specific charity for each giveaway, like Global Green, We Can Lead, the Anti-Recidivism Coalition, just to name a few.
So by giving back, you have a chance to win big. So what are you waiting for? Just go to 10kdollarday.com/omaze, that's OMAZE, and let them know that we sent you.
Amazing.
All right. So that is what Lulu would do with $10,000 if she had it. But here's what we would do if we had $10,000 to give away. Now, I took that word gruntled, and you said it does mean happy, that sort of thing. So I found a charity that's literally called Happy Charity.
Oh,
So you can find them at happycharity.org. Happy Charity, the vision is to promote social welfare activities with a focus on the concept of self-sustainable welfare. So what that means is they are committed to providing food to underprivileged people, regardless of race, religion, and they set up food banks. So basically, they have these food banks that you can go in. Also, they welcome food donors, so you can donate dry food to any of the food banks. Then they distribute this food all throughout different centers, but people can also come into the food banks to basically shop for free. They also aim to support and care for underprivileged in many different ways. They have a ton of different ways that you can volunteer and donate on their website. Again, I love their little slogan is so cute too, or their logo, I should say. It's a tiny little house with a heart above it and a sun, and the house is smiling. It's so cute. It's happycharity.org. And basically they're educators. They're trying to help, play important roles in helping people who are underprivileged.
Oh, I love that.
So what did you find?
Well, I actually stayed close to Savannah
Oh, cool.
And, one of the things that was really peaceful and lovely about Savannah, we talked about it a few times, were those big trees.
Yeah.
And so I found the Savannah Tree Foundation because
Oh,
they're going to
cool.
make all of us feel gruntled if we have more
Yeah.
trees. And the Savannah Tree Foundation protects and grows Chatham County's urban forest through tree planting, community engagement, and advocacy. And on their website, they have a really cool like Google map with some overlays of everywhere that they've planted trees. So
Mhm.
you can look at the city of Savannah and just see like their little icons everywhere that they've put more trees up and protected the trees. And I loved it. So
That's
Savannah
amazing.
Tree Foundation.
Very cool. All right. And we're going to go straight into, again, guys, switching it up a little bit. We're going to go straight into our happies because we do have a segment that we're getting into. So we need to get through our 10K5 before we start that. So we're going to go into our happies. My happy is that I made it through this day. It's been a very long few days for me. I'm kind of like triple dutying it in
It's
regards
10 a.m.
to work.
What are you talking about?
Well, okay, let me rephrase. When I wrote this, it was yesterday because we were supposed to record yesterday, and I was so excited I made it through the day. So maybe I should say I'm so happy I made it through yesterday.
Okay, what you had a lot of stuff going on.
I had a lot of stuff going on. I'm now kind of falling into a bit of a managerial role at the dance studio. It hasn't been flushed out with a name yet. It's coming. We're working on that, but I'm basically involved. I've basically taken over all of the parent meetings for the next season. Now, this includes 72 students and parents that I have to meet with one-on-one.
Wow.
Yes. So we have 72 members of the dance company, and I have been asked to kind of spearhead these meetings because I'm good with people and I'm good with talking and on the cuff. And if someone has an issue, I'm very open. I also play both roles because I'm a parent and I'm also a teacher. So I can see both sides of things. So I've kind of taken on that role, and it was meant to be kind of I don't know, like a backseat driver in the beginning. And now it has turned into I am full on running the ship. So yesterday was a very long day. I had meetings literally from 10 a.m. until I was there until like 6 or 7 p.m. And it was every 30 minutes. So I was like, I made it. I got home. Then we had our crazy snafu with our recording devices. But you know what? The day ended. I got some sleep and a glass of wine. And now we're on to day 2. Here we go. Look at that. Every day's a new day. That's my happy. Let's remember that. What's your happy?
My happy is I'm in Orlando, which makes me always happy.
Yeah,
I'm here
home.
for a few weeks. Home, and I get to see my family. And also, it just happened to be that I'm able to do this 20th anniversary concert I talked
That's
about at the
awesome.
top. It's an organization that I've been working with for about 20 years. I mean, I've been there since the beginning. And it started out as like a bunch of cast members at Disney, employees at Disney, most of whom were not professional performers at the time, and they wanted to put on a show, and that's kind of how it started, super small, and we raised money for charity every year, and now it's gigantic, and so many of the people that started it have gone to do it professionally, but that's not the way it was when it started.
Yeah.
So it's just great. And it's a reunion, like seeing if there are people flying in from all over the country to come sing again. And we're going to be at a beautiful new space that just opened at the Dr. Phillips Center that is so perfectly tuned that we don't have to use microphones.
What?
Except for the soloists, but everything else is unmicrophoned.
That's amazing. That's so cool. I've never even heard of that.
Well, it's built for operas and orchestras, this space. So you can hear every single instrument in.
That's really cool.
Oh, I'm so excited. Yeah, it's going to be great.
Amazing.
Oh,
All
boy.
right. It is time for
10K role play.
That's right. We're calling this 10K role play. Get ready, world. So the concept is simple. We'll see if it turns out to be what we want it to be. So what happens is we're taking this gruntled word, right? So it's our magic word of the day. Lulu and I are both going to give each other some sort of character that they have to become based on this word, something that sparked our imagination. We're going to tell each other what that character has to be, and then that character has to answer our 10K5 that you just heard. And that is, quick recap, obsession, wish list. What would you do with $10,000? How would you give away $10,000? And what's your happy? So who should go first today, Lulu?
I'm going to ask you first.
All right, let's do
I'm
it.
so excited. All
Very
right.
excited.
Allison,
Yes.
are you ready to answer the 10K5 as the newest dwarf in Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, Gruntled?
I'm so ready.
Okay. Hey, Gruntled.
Hi.
Oh, I did not know we were going to do voices.
Well, I mean, I had to put on my happy voice because gruntled means happy.
Okay, Gruntled. What's your obsession today?
Oh, my obsession is family. I love a big family. In fact, I have a big family. They're not all nice. Some are grumpy and some are sleepy, but I love being around them. We love cooking and being together and singing songs and working. Just people. I love being surrounded by people.
Oh, wow. You sound so gruntled.
Yeah.
Okay, Gruntled. What is on your wish list?
Oh, my wish list is for my brother. Okay. His name is Sleepy. He's sleepy all the time. But here's the thing. He's constantly falling down because he's just tired. So my wish list is actually for him. I wish that we could create some sort of bubble that every time he would hit something, it would inflate. Almost like if you were in a car and you get hit from both sides and the airbag comes out. That's what I would want. A personal airbag attached to Sleepy.
Oh, you're so generous.
Yes.
All right, Gruntled. So weird. How would you spend $10,000?
Oh, well, that's an easy one.
Is it?
Yes, my favorite thing in the world are flowers. I love flowers. I love flowers of all types. Tulips, roses, chrysanthemums. And what I would do is I would spend $10,000 on seeds, and I would plant all of these flowers all around our house so that I could not only live in a forest, but in a flower forest.
Flower forest. Okay, that's perfect. How would you give $10,000 away?
Oh, that's easy too. So after, I'm sure a lot of you know the story of our friend Snow White and how there was the terrible, terrible, mean old woman who tried to poison her with an apple. Well, after that, if you don't know, there was a lot of copycats, a lot of mean people that created similar apples. And so we started an organization called No More Bad Apples. And I would give that $10,000 to that organization, No More Bad Apples, to continue the good work it's doing in the world, to make sure that people are nice, kind, and gruntled.
Perfect. I loved it. All right. Last question, Gruntled. What's your happy today?
Oh, my happy today is that I woke up and it was bright and sunny. I just love the sun. It makes me feel like I'm home. It was beating on my face. I got to walk outside and dream a little dream. And that's my happy is the waking up, that first few moments of the morning where the sun is bright.
Oh, everyone give it up for Gruntled.
All right. That was fantastic, if I do say so myself. So, Lulu,
yeah,
are you ready for your 10K role play?
I'm so nervous. Okay, go ahead. All
so
right.
just a little precursor here. Another definition I found of gruntled
Oh boy.
is, it's okay. I quote, in good humor.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Well, did you know that Good Humor is a brand of ice cream that started in the early 1920s?
I do love a good humor.
Well, there you
Ice
go. Lulu, I want you to be a
boy.
1920s ice cream truck driver named Harry.
Okay. Okay.
All right, here we
Okay,
go.
little girl, let's do it. Let's have
All
some
right.
ice cream. All right.
Hi, Harry. So here we
Hi.
go. Harry, what is your current obsession?
What's my current obsession? Well, my current obsession is ice. Have you seen it? It's new. And I got a cooler in my truck and I put it all in. It makes the ice cream cold because before I used to have to go and run back to my house all the time to get the ice cream for the kiddos. But now I can just drive around in it in my Model T.
That is fantastic. I'm so happy for you. Ice is a great invention. So tell me then, you've gotten this ice, but what's on your wish list?
Well, what's on my wish list is a fleet of Model Ts. That's right. But they're so expensive because, they only make like one at a time, because they're new. And there's only one in the whole city and it's mine. But what I want is a whole fleet of them. I can see good humor men and women all around the world. We only say men and women right now because we're not as progressive as you are in the future. But right now, I just want a bunch of people selling ice cream to all the kiddos and spreading the love of dairy.
Oh, yes. And dairy is so loved. Okay. So if you had $10,000, what would you do with it?
Oh, I tell you what, if I had $10,000, I would take me and the missus up to the Poconos because we could really use some rest and relaxation. I would definitely go fishing up there and watch the salmon. Are salmon there? I don't think they are. Also, I don't know what accent this is. But I would go and watch the salmon jumping around. And if there weren't any salmon, we'd go back in and get some ice cream. And you know what else I'd do? I'd check out all my competitors. I'd look at all those other ice creams and try to figure out why my good humor ice cream was better than theirs.
I also feel like you aged quite a bit in that last monologue. Okay, that's fantastic. So if you had $10,000 to give away, what would you do with that?
Oh, if I had $10,000, I'd bury it in my house because the depression's coming. And I would want to make sure that we had a nice cushion of money in our mattress. I would just stuff it all in the mattress, bury it under the house, and then we'd have it for a rainy day.
Oh, that's a great plan. Listen, I love that. And hey, the future has some problems too. So it's going to come in handy.
That's
All right.
right.
And finally, Harry, what's your
Yes.
happy?
Well, I have a job. Well, how can you not be happy about that? Do you know what the economy is like in 1920 with all these
don't.
flappers running around with their knees showing and their cheeks rouged? What's happening these days? All I want to do is sell a little ice cream to the little kiddies. But thank goodness I've got a job to put food on the table, a chicken in every pot, so we can take our trip to the Poconos.
Thank you, Harry. Oh my goodness. Listen, I hope you guys had as much fun as we did. And hey, we want to hear your feedback. Did you like this new format? I mean, let us know. You can email us at 10kdollarday@gmail.com or find us on any of our social medias at 10kdollarday. And if you love what you're hearing, I mean, who wouldn't? You can also check us out at 10kdollarday.com/Patreon. That's Patreon. And for as little as $2 a month, you can support this podcast because again, this could be our job one day. So help us out. Thank you guys so much for sticking with us. We are so excited to be here week after week with you, to hear from you, to be in your ears, and now in front of your eyes with that newsletter. 10K Dollar Day is produced by Andrea Canny, intro by Stan Collins, graphic art by Jacob McAllister, the 10K jingle by Rockwell and Rose, the vintage 10K Saturday episode voiceover by Charlie Hume. Thanks as always to Buzzsprout. Let's end this podcast the way we do end every single podcast, with friends like us
Who needs a manatee?